wait. You do it another time. All right, shalom, shalom. Happy Shabbat to each one of you. Tonight is not a good. Sound like this one. Okay, here we go. Shalom, shalom. Happy Shabbat to each one of you. I'm on. You make it come on. I'm having trouble tonight. I don't know why. Everything looks good over here. You got to give me a minute because I'm having issues. I'm having some issues. All right, happy Shabbat, shalom, shalom. You're not going to be able to see me tonight because for some reason the microphone, the camera is not doing what it's supposed to do tonight. So you're not going to be able to see me until so. I need to get her. Come get her. So you're not going to be able to see me, Sister Latorya. If you in the chat, just go ahead click onto the link. Come on up. You're not going to be able to see me because we're having issues with the camera. Y'all come get her. All right, let me get on this right here. All right, we in right here. All right, I'm trying to clear up the issue as far as like my camera, but I'm trying to do it as much as possible. So as we kind of wait on that, let me go ahead and blow the shofar. One of you joining in the chat. Like I said, you're not going to see my face tonight. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you'll be able to hear me. I'm just having camera issues tonight. I don't know why. I'm just baffled at why this thing just kind of just went off and did its own thing. So, is it? So, just give me a moment. Sister Latorya, if you're in the chat, come on up. Sometimes these things sometimes these things do what it want to do. Oh boy. All right, we think, okay, here she comes. So, just give me a minute. trying to log into another computer. But you could go ahead on do a little talking. Just do a little talking now. Just do a little talking.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, let me turn the music down. We're looking to have this kind of issue tonight.
Yeah, like.
All right. Let me make sure this is it. Good. You good. I'm just trying to log into another computer.
All right. So y'all see like the title, right? I mean, I'm not. Yeah, the title. The Great Lumberjack match. The Speckled Bird against the world. And
Let me
then
know
I'm
when
gonna
you're
be
ready to
asking.
play.
You said let me let you know when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then tonight also I'm gonna be asking y'all a lot like, are you reformed? So it's gonna be something for you to think about all night. All right. So a lumberjack match. I don't know how many of y'all watch wrestling or used to watch wrestling, but tonight we're gonna show how, you know. And again, before I say this, I want to say like this is like a video for like the American Negro, so-called black people.
Here we go.
So this is not like an attack on anybody else personally. This is not a message or anything directed at anybody else. But so we're gonna talk about it tonight, like the lumberjack match. So again, does anybody know what a lumberjack match is? If you ever watch wrestling, you know a lumberjack match is a professional wrestling match where wrestlers surround the ring's exterior, and if a wrestler is knocked out, the lumberjacks will put them back in. Can you play
Yeah.
the clip? I want y'all to see. If y'all don't know about
Another
wrestling,
real big surprise, courtesy of Mr. McMahon here tonight.
oh, no question about that. Listen to the commentary too, y'all. Listen to the commentary. It started at 4:32, I think.
What's happening?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I got you right here.
Not one of these.
If you do anything online, you need Guardio.
Just give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
And also the material that you're going to be seeing is for educational purposes only. Fair use for educational purposes only.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sis.
It looks like TNA with that little witch Trish. Hey, there's Boss Man and Bull. And of course, Shane, Vince, the hardcore champion, Shane the Giant Killer, Gerald Briscoe, and that massive corporate butt kisser Patterson. Oh, is he okay?
Listen to the commentary, y'all.
Hot coffee spilled all over. Maybe he needs mouth to mouth. You can go help him. I can't believe this. We've got a ring surrounded by like vultures.
Yeah, look who's right over here by me. Stephanie and Tori and Trish, they know how to protect her.
Yeah, right.
Anything bad happens, I may have to handle this on your own. I'll jump up here.
It's just imploring that the Rock and the Undertaker start hammering each other.
Let's get it on, you two.
Retail White. That's this call for the bell, and here we go. It's like vultures surrounding the ring.
That's you, Israel.
Regime
you in the ring.
McMahon helms the regime members. The Rock and the Undertaker can't win. They're doomed here.
What's the matter? One scared, the other glad of it?
I don't think so.
The Northern Kingdom, the Southern Kingdom, that's you in the ring.
Here we go.
The Undertaker. The Undertaker. The God Almighty. This is not right. The Rock is in the ring. And the Undertaker here. But the Boss Man, the Rock now is the champion. No, wait. The Rock is not playing with the game. And the Undertaker now with Patterson.
Isn't that what they told me?
The undershot. The boat spin goes for the ride. Lance. Shane, do something. The regime thought they had a grand plan. And maybe they still do. But it don't look good.
You can stop it right there, you go.
Okay. All right.
So that's the lumberjack match. Hey, did y'all hear the commentary when they was like the vultures? And they was like they surrounded by vultures.
Yeah, I heard it.
I think that was like the perfect clip, right? Let's go to Jeremiah 12:7. Jeremiah 12:7. The KJV. I have forsaken my house. I have left mine heritage. I have given the dearly beloved of my soul into the hand of her enemies. My heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest. It cried out against me. Therefore I have hated it. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. And the NLT just straight up says, I have abandoned my people, my special possession. I have surrounded my dearest ones to their enemies. My chosen have roared at me like a lion of the forest, so I have treated them with contempt. My chosen people act like speckled vultures, but they themselves are surrounded by vultures. Bring on the wild animals to pick their corpses clean. So the creator right here is basically saying that Israel, right, is like a speckled bird. A speckled bird stands out. But because of Israel, like when it says that my heritage is unto me as a lion in the forest, it cried out against me, therefore I have hated it. We know that was said like a few different ways in the Bible, but because of Israel's sin, it's like they despised the Creator's word. And when you despise the Creator's word, it's like you despise him, right? So what is he saying? He gave them into the hands of their enemies. They're surrounded by their enemies, right? And their enemies are always ready to devour them. And just to even show you just how much of a speckled bird they are, they stand out, right? Go to
That's right.
Ezekiel 5:5. Thus said the Lord God, this is Jerusalem. I have set it in the midst of the nations and countries that are round about her. So he's saying that you are center stage. Like everybody's watching you. You really just watching yourself. I can tell Israel live in a bubble. Like you don't pay attention to other people around you. And we're gonna get into some clips about that tonight. But while you're not watching everybody around you, they all watching you. You're a speckled bird, and they all want to devour you. Again, I'm not going at anybody in specific, but this message is only like for a certain group of people. Ezekiel 20:6. In the day that I lifted up my hand unto them to bring them forth of the land of Egypt into a land that I had espied for them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Right? So he's telling you, you and the land is a spy, like you're a special prize. He created everybody, but you're special. You stand out. Again, think about it. Ezekiel 5:5. Thus said the Lord God, this is Jerusalem. I have set it in the midst of the nations and countries that are round about her. And he's not just talking about the land. He's talking about the people. Deuteronomy 11:12. A land which the Lord thy God careth for the eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year, even into the end of the year. So we know the Creator know all things. Nothing is hid from him. But he has a special eye for what's going on with a special group of people and a special land. Please keep that in mind. The speckled bird, right? Now, notice at the end of that verse it said, my heritage is unto, at verse 9, my heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour, right? What does it mean to devour? Like anybody in the chat, what does it mean to devour?
To consume.
Yeah, to consume. So what is that saying? Like, if they're surrounding you, right? Like we already just established, you center stage, they surrounding you, they all looking at you. And he says that come ye, they're ready to devour you, right? And you're saying devour means consume. Does that mean you food? I mean, no offense, but are you food for the nations around you, right? And again, I say, like, to all of this, I'm gonna be asking y'all tonight, are you reformed? Does anybody know what it means to be reformed? To be reformed, like if you Google reform, reform means having been changed in such a way as to be improved. The Hebrew translation, I think I'm pronouncing it, is it Yalsar? To chastise, literally, with blows, or figuratively, with words. Hence, to instruct, bind, chasten, chastise, corrupt, correct, instruct, punish, reform, reprove, soar, teach. That's important, right? Because when you go to, and the reason why I picked that, because I like that verse from Leviticus 26, right? Let's go to Leviticus 26. Leviticus 26:23. You know, everybody's in love with talking about the curses, right? But everybody talks about certain curses, and a lot of times they overlook like the curses that might hit a little bit worse. And we're gonna kind of look into that tonight. But you know, if you go to Leviticus 26 and Deuteronomy 28, you got the curses. But in Leviticus 26, he's telling you like the blessings and the punishment, you know, for obedience and disobedience, right? So when you go to Leviticus 26, he's telling you the curses and things that he's gonna do if you don't obey him. Then it says, and if you will not be reformed by me, by these things, but will walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you, and will punish you yet 7 times for your sins. So again, we already established reform means to be instructed, improved, right? Become wiser, to learn, right? To be taught, to be corrected. So if you're not going to be corrected, are you corrected? Like we already know, if he's cursing you, he's chastising you, right? And when he's chastising you, he's trying to improve you. The creator likens that to like a parent chastising their child, right? And that's how he feels about Israel. So the things that he does to you and the things that happen to you, that's affliction. Those are what you would call the curses, but he's doing it to reform you. And again, I ask, like, are you reformed? You know somebody reformed because you will see a change in them, right? Now,
Right.
so also I want to point out that, like, so you know we was talking about the lumberjack match. If you in a lumberjack match, everybody's surrounding you, everybody's taking their turn beating up on you, basically. So think about that in the state of the community, right? Our people, right? So we know certain attacks. Certain attacks are, we know, like, okay, we know about police brutality. We know about lack of funding, resources, poverty, education. We know about those struggles, right? What you say?
No, that's right, sis.
Yeah, like you know about those attacks, right? Those attacks, everybody know. You see those on the news. But You never hear them think about it. Yeah, the news. I just thought about that. So you always hear them on the news talking about blacks in poverty, below the poverty line, not really that high in education, even though it's like a lot of, especially in the black women that are like college graduates, but not really like able to get loans, not a lot of business owners. And those are all attacks that they'll talk about on the news. But think about the attacks on you that they don't talk about on the news. Those are the attacks that hit the hardest. And they're the ones that actually lead to those other attacks, right? So again, not all attacks are noticeable. Um, again, financial resources, physicality, like somebody calling you a ninja. We already know that, right? That's an attack. That's happening, right? But there's other attacks like on the horizon. Like there's other attacks out there, and I call them silent killers because they the ones that really hit. And we're gonna be looking into that tonight. Um, like those attacks, I'm gonna just tell you right now. The attack of your history, your identity, and your culture, because those are the real problem. Because you attacked in that way, that's why you have lack of funding. That's why you have police brutality. That's why you have lack of ownership. It all really comes from the attack on your history, your identity, and your culture. And again, I'm gonna prove like so, and all of that is curses. Like all of that is like curses that are curses put on you, right? That's affliction. Being given into the hands of your enemy. That's affliction, right? Um Now when attacking when we're talking about your history, your culture, and your identity, and just follow me because I'm just trying to set y'all up for the videos I'm gonna show y'all. And I'm trying to show y'all, put this together full circle, right? Everybody knows Psalms 83. When you go to Psalms 83, it says, hold on, I'm pulling up Psalms 83. Well, I started verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. He says you're hidden. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more in remembrance, right? May be no more remembrance. So, if you read down, you're going to see Edom, Ishmaelites, Moab. Now, Yaakov be talking about that, and like he'll put it, like a lot of them is your people, your own family, right? But I'm going to show you, like, Israel don't have no ally. Huh? Israel doesn't have any allies or no friends. So everybody that is not, you're gonna see tonight, anybody that is not under your that's why genealogy is important, because if they not you, they're never really gonna be your friend, right? And with that, Jacob, can you play like the first video? Now look on this first video, y'all.
Yeah, I'm queuing it up right now. Just give me a second.
All right, I'm gonna just be telling them about, like, let me just give you a little rundown. So like on this first video,
I'm just queuing it up.
So like y'all, I'm gonna just tell y'all. So I don't know how many of y'all watch boxing, right? But for any of y'all out there that watch boxing or that follow boxing, which it may not be a lot of people at this time, but you know that boxing reflects real life. The stuff that happens in real life plays out in the boxing ring. It's tribal. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but it's like everybody against like the so-called blacks in boxing. And it's like a lot of people that don't have voices outside of boxing, they run there to exercise their hate, against the community. And they feel safe there. Like that's like a place. Boxing is like a platform where other people that wouldn't normally have a platform or a voice, they get to go and have one, right? But they play it out there. And it's not like a lot of support for blacks. It's like they get booed everywhere they go. Um, And like our community don't really watch boxing no more like they used to, so they don't be there to support. It's like a fighting against the world, but it looks exactly how it is in real life. But we're not. So the clips is gonna come from boxing channel, and they supposed to be talking about boxing, but they're not talking about boxing, y'all. They talking about you. They talking about the Speckled Bird, right? And they're using. I'm gonna show you. They even using boxing as a platform again to exercise their feelings towards you. But again, when he cue it up, I just want you to see, and I want you to know in the videos you see, you're gonna see like one or two so-called black people, but everybody else that's around him are people from other nations, and this is them talking to you. And I want you to hear how you sound like if you don't have the wisdom and knowledge to defend yourself.
This thing is really acting up tonight. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Let me see if I can look in the chat without.
I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, y'all, this is dear. Because like I'm gonna tell you, like tonight, I was just gonna really like just kind of go in and show y'all, like I told you, them attacking your history, your culture, and your identity.
We'll do it this way.
The attacking your history, your culture, and your identity is the worst kind of attack on you.
Okay.
Just let me know whenever you got it. How many people be doing their genealogy? Like, how many people actually have done their genealogy and actually try to find out who they are? How many people know who the creator is? Right? Let's go to Proverbs while they're getting that up. Proverbs 1 is 1, right? 1 and 7. Well, no, just start at verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, and knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. But this is the one I was looking for. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So the first step is, do you fear the creator? Do you know who the creator is? If you don't know who the creator is, I know you don't know who you are, right? And then maybe that's why when you go to Isaiah 1 and 3, let's start in verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. So the Creator says that you don't know who He is. You don't know who your God is. He said you don't consider. And because you don't know who your God is, you don't know who you are. So the first step is, do you know the Creator? Why don't you get to know the Creator? If you know the Creator and you learn the Creator, you're going to find out who you are. And that's this the video right here. Y'all see the title? Black. Now look, this dude right here in the video, he's supposed to be talking about, he got a boxing channel, right? He's supposed to be talking about boxing,
You hear me,
but
Sister
I'm
Latorya?
telling you, yeah, I can hear you. Could y'all hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah. I got you. I'm in now. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Like the dude right here in the picture, right? Now, he Dominican, y'all. I'm not saying nothing bad about nobody, but I'm telling you he's not a so-called Black American. He's gonna tell you that. But he's supposed to be having a boxing channel where you talk about boxing. But I'm telling you, people, they only go to boxing because they found it as an outlet to is be able to attack you and to be able to do little stuff to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like if somebody get on the internet and try to like beat you up on the internet, you know, or they do anything, right? A crafty counsel, any kind of way I can inflict you, right? And I'm only gonna show certain parts of this video. I'm not even gonna show you all the stuff that he be saying about you. I only want to take certain parts of this video just to show you like the attack on your history, your culture, and your identity. If you could start it at, let me get the paper.
I already got you. 38.
Yeah, now look, y'all, they talking about, read the title. He acting like he want to have a sit down between so-called Black Latinos to try to hash things out. But if you really know this guy, you know that that's definitely not what he's doing, right? He was really trying to go find a few little Black people to surround with other nations to try to make an embarrassment out of them. But anyway, but he can't embarrass them. They embarrass themselves, right? It's about accountability. So yeah, can you play it at 38? Just listen to the conversation, y'all, and try not to get aggravated with the conversation.
All right, here we go. Fair use, fair use. This is under Copyright Act of 106. This is not our material. We claim no rights to this material. This is for only educational purposes, building, community, and etc. Let's ride.
And also, I'm going to tell you the truth on what every other culture have said, and I'm going to go right back to this culture, and I'm going to tell you, yo, this is how they see you, this is how they see you. There was people out there that was mad because I said what I said the other day on my live show. I said, yo, my man, I said, yo, people don't care about the sad stories. That hurt a couple people. And I heard that, and I heard you in that other show. I heard you. Whoever you are, you know your name, you know who I'm talking about. I heard you. Called emotional. There was some guy that called the show and he was emotional. He said, yo, I tuned into punch drum boxing. Yo, he said all of this. He said all of that. He went in. He said that we are a bunch of crybabies and we shouldn't cry. And da-da-da. He went in on your boy Punch. He was going everywhere. Yo, don't go to punch drum boxing. This guy said this. This guy said that. In the end of what he was saying in this, right? You know what he said? He said, yo, the thing that he was saying, it was true. So why you mad? So you think you know Wix?
Let me get them commercial out of the way.
I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm living. I know who's around me. I know my friends. I know my peoples. Don't get mad at me because I'm telling you the truth. The reason why people are mad because I'm justifying it I'm justifying it amongst people that you don't want me to justify our things. So when something happens, you don't want to say, you don't want to be the one to be like, yo, but what about us, man? Black on black crime. Come on, man. What about black on black crime? What are they doing to us? Knowing that that's the biggest problem in our community, But no. Put that black crime on the side. And what about us? What about them? No, you saw what happened. No, but let's fix our problem ourselves in our community. When we talk about our community, it's also the black and the black Latino, the Americanized Latinos that have adopted the culture of Black America. Black America does not adapt to the culture of Latinos. Latinos adapt to the culture of Black America in the hood. You don't see a black person want to be a salsero, bachatero, merenguero. No, you see a Spanish person want to become a rapper. You see a Spanish person want to adopt that culture. The Latino culture adopted hip-hop culture. And there's some Latinos that just stay within their culture, and which is good, and which is beautiful. Which is beautiful. That's what makes us beautiful. So when somebody adopts another culture, that's beautiful. That means you got something good going in your culture. I said black culture is American culture. That's who, yeah. Yeah. So we go with American culture. I go outside of the country and they be like, yo, Punch, why in America? Y'all always on some race stuff. Like I don't get it. Because when you go outside the country, it's about culture stuff. Either religious, difference of religion, or difference of culture. But I don't hear when I go outside the culture, they talk about this black and white stuff. They don't. Not in my experience when I leave outside this country. Not the way that we talk about it. No. And you can see it in boxing. When Anthony Joshua comes to the U.S., or when we talk about Anthony Joshua, you don't say, oh, that black brother from the UK, the black fighter from the UK. Nah. You be like, that fighter from the UK. You don't say Dillian White, the black UK fighter. They don't say that. Lennox Lewis, the black UK fighter. Or Canadian, whatever you want to call you. You don't say that. We don't say that. But over here, why we just can't say American fighter? Why we can't say that Deontay Wilder is an American fighter? No, Deontay Wilder is a black fighter. I feel like we should say American fighter. Nah. He's us. He's for my people. For my people. When you say he's only my people, then you're pushing everybody out. Push. You're pushing everybody out. When I'm looking at Deontay Wilder, and I'm giving you an example because I'm mentioning a fighter. If I'm looking at Deontay Wilder and he's out there in the Olympics, he's fighting for America. But if you only want to fight for your blacks, then you push everybody else out because, of course, in this country, we go by races. Oh, that's their champion. So we need to get our champion or the Puerto Rican champion or the Cuban champion or whatever because he's not our champion. He just champions for his people. Now, I don't think it should be like that either. Deontay Wilder was an American champion. That's what I like. Have you heard boxing? What's good? Jay Cooley, what's good?
Jay Cooley.
Dragon, what's good? So, if you my boy, and I'm gonna break it down in layman's terms. You my boy, there's a bunch of people talking about you, but I'm a person that I want everybody to be good. I want everybody to get along. And I want to help out everybody else. And I want to help, and I want to tell you something that's beneficial for you. If you my boy, right? And this is what I was saying, this is what I was trying to say to clarify what I was saying in my live show when I say that nobody want to listen to sad stories. We all got sad stories, man. We all come from unfortunate backgrounds. We all come up from an unfortunate background, whether it's in America, whether it's in a third world country, whether it's a communist country. And this is what I'm saying is because some people just never left the bubble. I know people that never left New York. I know people that never left the city. I know people in the suburbs that never went to the city. So there's people that just stay in their bubble, in their block, in their county, in their borough. Just stay. They don't know nothing else. When you got a person that I consider myself multicultural, and I was born and raised with a multicultural with Chinese around me, Black, Latino, different type of Latinos. A black country guy, yo, a black country man is different from a black city guy, yo. You know it's true. It's really about culture. So, this is what I'm saying. Struggle could be understood. Your fight could be understood. But ain't nobody gonna stop themselves from progressing to cater to another person's struggle. I can understand. And I'm talking to anybody. I can understand what you go through. But that doesn't mean I have to stop my progression or getting mines because of your struggle or what you're fighting for. That's life. I can understand you. I can't stop doing what I'm doing. I can understand you, but I gotta feed my family. So it's no use for Black America to tell Latino America that we fought over here and you're the reason that why you could come over here in this country and live good. We're the reason. Latinos that come into this country understand the struggle because in their own country, they struggle as well. In their own country, they struggle as well. Dominican, Cuba, Venezuela, they struggle as well. So when they come to this country, they understand your struggle because they understand that's the community, that's the understanding that we Latinos and Black people have. Right? We understand the struggle. We understand the have-not. We understand being hungry. We understand that. But the culture is different. También is different.
You at the 50? Oh no, never mind. Hold on.
It's a different culture. There's pros and cons in different cultures. There's other cultures that have to adopt culture that is good. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna give you an example. Like I said earlier, Latino, they will adopt a culture like hip hop. They'll adopt the fashion, but that doesn't mean they're gonna adopt also the negative about a culture, and that goes vice versa. You adopt the culture. What's good, Munchie? What's good, Cat? What's good, Queen? No one says
He doing it now.
stop, people.
You said what now? You want me to stop right there?
Hold on. No, is it at 50?
No, I'm at 49. I'll let it run to 50.
Out for each other is okay. Let the hand for yeah. It's not understanding of the belief. That's what we always try to understand.
Yeah, you can stop it.
I'm gonna hit you with another touchy. I'm gonna hit you with another touchy right here. Ronald Finkel, good old. What's good, my brother? Looking out with the stupid.
You can stop it right there. Okay. So could y'all hear what he was saying good?
Oh yeah, he was saying a lot.
Good. So I'm yeah. Okay. So because now I want you to hear what because he's Latino, right? So hear what he's saying and listen to what he's telling you. He says that somebody in the comment section said Black culture is American culture. I've heard that before. I've heard so there's two ways to look at that. You can either give credence to say that Black people are the culture for America, right? But there's other people that will use it like that crafty. Remember we talked about what did we just go over before the crafty council, right? How did they use the crafty council to attack you, your history and culture, right? Because if your culture is the American culture, right? The American culture is your culture. Then that means whoever comes here, that becomes their culture too, right? So now it's it's we, it's us. You're gonna hear that a lot. Um, again, when I think of it, what you say?
I was going to say, so it sounds like they're adapting a culture that's not theirs. But then he was also talking about, well, Latinos, they take on like the rap or they take on the clothing, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I never heard him mention about them really finding out the history of what they're calling themselves adapting to.
Well, that's true. Because when we look at these clips tonight, you're gonna see that they think they already got it figured out. And they're gonna tell you what your history and culture is. They're gonna tell you tonight that you don't know. And we're gonna see tonight like how many so-called black people can defend. Like so it's a lumberjack match, y'all. Like it's a fight and they all surrounding you, right? You heard what he just said, like he just said that if you're doing if people are taking your culture, that means you're doing something right. You're doing something good. But I want to ask you, when has other nations adopting a so-called black culture ever ended up good for so-called black people? It's been a blessing for everybody else, but when has that ever benefited so-called black people? Somebody else adopting their culture.
It hasn't, because it's like they're taking your identity.
Mm-hmm. And then what's going on now with the whole Fat Joe thing and the whole hip hop? Right. I never in my life thought if you'd have told me when I was a little girl that I was gonna ever have to hear a debate on who created hip hop, I would have never believed you. I would have never believed you, right? And it made me think about the story in the Bible with Canaan, right? How, they seen Dina or Dinah and they thought she, one of the Canaan men, they laid with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to become with one with Israel.
Oh,
So
but Israel, I wasn't that was the one that the father wouldn't allow it because he wasn't one of them.
Shopify
yeah,
point of sale.
that yeah, that's when they got mad and they ended up killing them because they slept with her. But I'm gonna just go to the one verse, right? I'm not gonna read the whole story, but if you go to Genesis chapter 34, you can find that story. Where I just read a few verses. Um, so I'll just start at 13. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah, their sister. And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. But in this we will consent unto you, if you will be that every male of you be circumcised, then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then we will take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. And the young man deferred not to do the thing because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. And Hamor and Shechem his son came into the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are peaceable with us. Therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein for the land. Behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only herein will the men consent unto us for to dwell with us to be one people. if every male among us be circumcised, circumcised. And this is the verse right here. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they dwell with us. So verse 23 right there. They're telling you, like, why, think about it, why would Canaan at that point in time, right? The sons of Canaan, why would they want to be one people? I mean, why would Israel want to be one people with Canaan at that time? Because the land was already given to Israel. The Canaanites weren't fully gone, they didn't fully get rid of them, but they were like serving Israel, right? So why would Israel want to be as one people with Canaan, right? Israel was the blessed people. But it was Canaan that really wanted to be one with Israel. And what did they just tell you? Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? So basically, what is he saying? If we be one people, everything that belongs to them will be ours too.
Don't that kind of remind you of the scripture where it says that through Abraham's seed the whole world would be blessed?
Yes, yes, like the blessings. They know what the blessing is, right? And it's kind of like, I don't want to say like I don't want to really offend, but not like a leech, but they know, yeah, they know what a blessing is, right?
Right.
Brother Shiver said, good to hear him say that they insert themselves in black culture. That's right. Take pride in yours and leave ours alone. Brother Shiver, I hope you listen to the other video tonight too, because I kind of know how you feel about it.
Oh yeah. Then he also
But
says, oh,
they
he
also
also
said what?
says to Brother Shava also says that they struggled over there. So yes, they benefit from us getting lynched, sprayed with water hoses, houses burned down. They didn't go through that, but they've benefited from it, the struggle. He said, "Oh, I've been listening."
But if you notice one thing, if I can interject a little piece, is that if you notice one thing, if I can interject real quick,
No,
he
everybody.
said that they love energy coming into your culture, but they don't want to take on the problems of your culture.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty big. See, they want
They
the
tell
blessing of the culture, but they don't want the problem of your culture. So I'm gonna land my plane right there.
Want to struggle. They just want to reap the benefits of everything. And then I think he
Did
was
you
saying too. Oh, go ahead, sis.
you say you think he was talking about the what blessings?
Well, when he was also saying about how it's like he was getting upset when he was saying, "Well, y'all always say, well, this is mine and this is this and the separation, but if you don't
Mm.
have a separation, then that means everybody can continue to eat from your plate. So there has to be some kind of separation." But he didn't seem to like that because he was talking against it.
I'm glad you brought that up, Sister Joanne, because that's exactly what I was going to go into, right? Because you're gonna hear that word tonight. There's a certain word they're gonna use when it comes to that. They use separatism, right? You're gonna hear them throw that word out tonight, right? So I got the definition for that word. Also, did you hear him when he was like, y'all just want to fight y'all own people. Y'all just want to be y'all people. Y'all don't want to represent nobody else, right? So he was like, so that makes everybody else have to go out and get their own champion. What is he just told you the blueprint? Because you refuse to represent them and be of ownership to them, they will go out and find other people to try to replace you or put over you. They will afflict real quick after right? After real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agitite, right? The Persian, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, right? For the king had so commanded concerning him, but Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, right? So you have Haman who was promoted. When he came in, everybody was bowing, giving reverence, but Mordecai didn't, right? Then the king's servant, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. So they found out that he was a Jew, and they like, oh, that's why he ain't bowing and reverencing, right? And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai, right? So if you go on that story, Haman, that whole plan ended up going sour. And then if you go deep into that story, they talk of when the king puts a decree and people become so fearful of Israel at that time, where he puts like some type of protection order over them, that people started converting to being Israel. But the reason why I brought that story up was because he didn't reverence and bow. And when he told them that he was a Jew, basically he was like saying to them, like, no, I refuse to be a part of your system. Like, we are set apart people. I know I'm here in captivity, but I'm a set apart people, right? I refuse. When you refuse to bow to be a part of their system, to represent them, to be a possession unto them, to let them share what belong to you, they try to destroy you. That's the thing. Again, we're gonna see that like through the night. I kind of want to play the other. Can you go to 6? Um,
But you want
oh, right,
you got the
right,
next
real
one now.
yeah, but real quick, because like Sister Joanne brought up the word separate. I did have that. Let me find it. I don't know. You could probably play the next clip. I'm trying to look
No,
through my
that's cool.
because
But notice one thing though. He did say that they came and learned your culture, but we are not going to learn their culture.
yeah,
That's
I wanted
very
that.
that's very huge. We're not learning anything pretty much dealing with their culture, but they're coming to learn your culture. So just real quick, that means your economics, everybody coming to learn how to live off of you. They're coming, everybody coming up off of you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the come up game. The Negro is the come up game.
Hey, that's why it said the speckled bird, right? It said devour. I was like, are you food? Because it says devour means to consume, to eat. Are you food?
hmm They putting all them
Um,
stones in your community. You ready?
wait, hold on.
You are the come up game. The Negro, the so-called African American. You are the come up game.
I wanted to say this too, real quick about that little. The reason why I picked that piece, because like real quick, right? He's telling you that they're adopting your culture, and he's saying that's a good thing. He was like, adopting somebody's culture is good. He was like, if somebody's adopting your culture, you're doing something good, right? Is that true for all those who study Torah? Is adopting somebody else's culture a good thing? No,
No.
you don't adopt nobody else's culture, right? Especially like for like Israel, right? And the whole separate thing, right? The holy is to be set apart, to be separate, right? So Israel is right for the separatism, wanting to be set apart, right? But why are they following? Why are they adopting your culture? Why are they doing what you do, right? That's not supposed to happen yet. Because what do you do? Like, I kind of wanted to go into that right quick before you play the next clip, right?
Go ahead, take your time.
Um,
Take your time.
Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth, right? Exodus 19:6. And you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So he says that you're supposed to be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. That's your job, right? A servant. So when they're taking your culture, what are they taking? Like, what ways are they taking? Or is it the creator? Is it the ways that the creator gave to you to be a light to the Gentiles? Because you was been supposed to be a light to the Gentiles. That's what you was chosen for, right? Let's go to Leviticus 25:55. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Isaiah 43:21. This people have I formed for myself, that they shall show forth my praise. Now they're taking your culture, but is your culture showing forth praise to the Creator? Isaiah 42:1. Behold my servant, whom I uphold mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. Isaiah 42:19. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? He's talking about you. And then Isaiah 43:10, right? You are my witnesses, ye are my witnesses, said the Lord, and my servant, whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me. See that word believe? That word believe sound familiar, right? He says know and believe him, right? And understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. You're supposed to be a witness to everybody to let them know that there's only one God. That should be the only culture anybody takes from you. But that's the one culture that you don't present, right? I am Isaiah 42:8. I am the Lord. This is my name, my glory. Will I not give to another? Neither my praise to graven images. So when you do now again, is what you do, your ways and culture, right? Is that praising? Is that showing for praise to the Creator, or is that giving for praise to a lot of other stuff? Some of that stuff be like devil worshiping, but the other nations just follow behind whatever you do. Then real quick, because I want you to play that video too. So that's so just keep that in mind. That's your job. Like, you supposed to be a servant for the Creator. He chose you just for that. You're supposed to like show forth his praise. You're supposed to let it be known throughout the world his doings, right? And his ways. And I actually got that one too. Psalms 9:11. Sing praise to the Lord which dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people his doings. Isaiah 12:4. And in that day shall you say, praise the Lord, call upon his name, declare his doings among the people, and make mention that his name is exalted. That's what you're always supposed to be doing. So is the culture doing that?
No.
No, definitely not. Especially when we get into the hip hop, like, because we're gonna get into that. Why would the Creator? I listen. I'm not talking bad about no culture, because I'm into all like so-called black culture, all of the hip, like, the whole history. I'm not talking bad on it. I'm only pointing out that it's not protected because it's not what the Creator designed. You're not being a light to the Gentiles. They taking the wrong things from you. Can you start at 6:19? Well, I think it's like, yeah, 6:19:00
Brother Shava
on
made
that same
some
video.
comments too.
Oh, okay.
You hold on real quick. You say 619 or 1619?
No, 6:19. It's kind of like in the middle. It's not in the beginning. It's like it'll say 6:19:00. Yeah,
Okay.
kind of in the. Yep.
I got you. Go ahead.
Brother Chavez says often imitated, never duplicated. They know that whatever we touch will prosper, so they try to be us to collect the overflow. And like we talked about in study, we tell them our secrets. We want to be included when we just need to be separated. Inclusive,
Oh,
we
okay,
just need to be
yeah.
separated. Hmm.
I'm glad you said that, brother Shada. Keep that what you just said. Tell them our secrets, because that's I'm gonna go over that. That's true.
All right, here we go. We're still under fair use. All right, under Copyright Act of 1976. Let's ride.
Select. And who you think is somebody else's fault? No. I think it's ignorance fault. Because how can we hate each other when you're a black person?
Yeah, but you gotta watch this, man.
Hold up, big bro. I'm talking to Punch. Punch ain't you black? Who happen to speak Spanish, right? I consider myself the son of God, man. Punch. You're black. Hold up. Let me tell Punch. 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 The son of God.
Hold on. To be honest, he's more caramel than black. And let me ask you something, Mitch Johnson.
Hold up. Let me talk. Davis is lighter than Punch. Is he black?
No.
What? So if Devontae Davis spoke Spanish, would he be Latino? Yeah. Punch. Punch.
Hold on. What I want to say is, why is it with like African descent and European descent we call them black and white? Why don't we call Asians yellow? We don't. We call them Asians. Like, say, I work at a golf course, and they ask me, what kind of people are there? Hold on. No, I'm not finished, Magic. I'm not finished. But say they ask me what kind of people are there, and I say, oh yeah, there's some white people and some Asians. That's what I would say, right? I'm not going to say, oh yeah, there's some white people and some yellow people. That's not what I say. Why is it that we call Europeans white and black people black?
When you look at Punch, if Punch ain't never say he was Spanish or anything, what would you call Punch? What if you put Devontae Davis against Punch drum boxing? What would you call him? You would think Devontae Davis is lighter than Punch, and he's a full-grown black American. So what would you think Punch?
Hold on. What is a black American?
A person of African descent. No, that's the person who. No, that's the motherfucker who built this country. A black American is not an immigrant. A motherfucker who's here before America.
Who built the country?
Huh?
Who built the country?
Your question is why do they call Europeans
Black Americans built the country.
It's your own subject. Hey, let me ask you guys one thing.
Yeah, hold on.
Wait.
Magic Johnson, I'm a proud Eastern European. I'm a proud Slavic person.
You don't know about the history of America?
I mean, yeah, I know a little bit about it.
You don't know that it was the 12 colonies, then slaves came over and built America, then it was America? Did you?
Hold on. Listen. You can't attribute building America to one culture because it was a lot of cultures.
A million motherfuckers built this shit with not free labor. What are you talking about?
But who drew up the plans? Who drew up the plans?
We're getting off topic.
Yeah, you're getting off.
So that's what I'm saying. Magic Johnson.
Let's get back to this. Yeah.
Listen. Let's not overcomplicate it. What I'm saying is, black people, white people. Listen. Why do we call black people, people of African descent and people of European descent, black and white? We don't call Asians yellow.
Because
why we give it?
Those concepts started in
What is you talking about? Like, so what you basically saying is this, right?
What I started back in segregation when it has black and white.
When you're not asking. Hold up. He still didn't answer my questions. Let me tell you this, right? Answer this question, right? Answer this question. It's a scenario, right? If punch drunk boxer, is he a Latino or is he black to you? Which one would you call the Latino? Who's lighter? Who's the Black American?
That's a black person talking, y'all, right?
Huh?
I mean, neither look black to me.
They don't look black to you?
Nah, one looks of African descent and one looks of Latin American descent.
Okay, so Devontae Davis was white
irrelevant.
Drunk boxer.
Right. If you want to know the answer, the short answer is because whenever Europeans engaged in the Atlantic slave trade, what they did is they invented this concept of white. So what they did is they took Anglo-Saxon Europeans of Western Europe, and they put them all into it's like an umbrella.
That's false.
He didn't have an answer.
First of all, what about Irish people? Irish people were not considered as white people for a long.
It's because it's a social construct.
No,
it's a social construct that we created.
Exactly.
Establish a hierarchy.
Exactly.
No. You don't even understand. White.
It's not something defined in reality, really.
Understood everything I said.
Right. So how can you not consider white either?
Because he couldn't.
I agree. Slavic people were not considered white. That's why I think this whole term of white and this whole term of black is stupid. There's no such thing.
They are so. Whenever
you from East, do you stay in East Europe?
You gotta break it down. You know. You gotta job, right?
For example, a lot of Eurocentric historians will say that Ethiopian is education.
Hell no.
Yeah, it was good.
Mexican head on your profile.
Huh? That's not me, bro. That's my favorite fighter, Filip Pergovic.
Oh, right. Okay. Now let me ask you this: do you stay in Eastern Europe?
Not all of the time.
I'm saying, do you stay in Eastern Europe? Have you seen the demographic of Eastern Europe?
Yes.
Have you ever? Yeah, you probably seen. But Eastern Europe don't have black people there. Do they?
No. A lot.
No, if any at all. So when you come to a diverse place, they have black people, and you don't understand it, like, oh, you said then you said something like, oh, I can see the difference. One is of your Latino descent, and one is of African American descent. If you play punch drunk,
No. What is African American? I'm saying African descent. I'm saying African, not African American. African descent.
Do you know that punch drunk is from African descent?
He's Latino.
That is a nationality. That is a culture.
Sorry, Latin is not a nation, and Latino is not a nationality.
Do you know that he is
Black America is also not a nation, and Black American, I don't believe, is ethnicity.
Okay, where are we going now?
This guy, so you think, what if you say he's a Latino? So if I speak Spanish, we switch back to Spanish, would I be...
What happened to moonshine?
Yeah,
hold up. Hey, hold up. What happened? You know, it's dark skin. It's dark skin.
Let's get back onto boxing soon.
Hold up. I want to boxing. Because this whole conversation
in the history class or something.
No, the whole conversation black against Latinos was really funny to me. When it's fucking black Latinos. When black Latinos, I would have.
But punch doesn't look black. Doesn't look black to me. I mean,
talking about what
punch looks like, the color black.
Let's get to the next stage of this conversation, bro. We keep going on.
It's ridiculous.
But hold on. What do you mean by black? Do you mean like black, the color black, like black pitch
Now you
You mean like African descent?
No. He played. Hey, don't feed him.
No, I'm just asking, bro.
L-Dog, he's very smart.
Keep moving on down to the next bit, L-Dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Let's keep it moving, you know?
He's gonna have you round before me. L-Dog, you ain't shit.
Okay, look. Right now, yeah, we're talking about this racism in boxing. Racism's always going to be in boxing. Yeah? It's just how we deal with it. We shouldn't be slandering each other's race. You can go for your fighters, but you shouldn't slander people because every race has been through a lot. Don't you think, yeah? We should just put respect in the game and at the end of the day and stop slandering different races in a bad way because they're going for a certain fighter.
Hey, what race is you, man?
Say that again?
What race is you?
So I'm British Indian.
You British Indian?
Yeah, man. So I'm born in England. My ancestors are from India. But I'm born in England.
Okay. So what race would you be?
I mean, as a nationality, I'm British, but I'm a brown man. But I come from a multi-culture background.
Okay. But also, race is a social construct. Race is not a real thing.
You know what I mean? I come from a cultural base.
It's funny because you told me you was two nationalities. You ain't tell me what race you was. You are European.
No, I told you I'm British. My nationality is British.
Yo. What's the race?
Rap star be the host. I'll be right back, all right?
Okay, bro. Yeah, so listen, I'm born in England, yeah? But my dad and all their ancestors are from India.
Okay. So you say your daddy are Indian and your mama Indian?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Real quick, Rap Star, if you don't mind, because you're the host now. Do you mind if I ask you, Mitch Johnson, where are you from? Like, where is your ancestry from? Do you even know?
What the fuck is from America?
Yeah, but what are you trying to get to, man?
Hold on.
What are you trying
Magic Johnson, hold on. Magic Johnson, you're African American, right?
No, I'm Black American.
Black American. Okay, so where is your ancestry from? Hundreds of years ago, where are they from?
America.
Okay, 1,000 years ago, where are they from?
I'm not gonna. I think it's for 500 years they've been.
See, the thing is, the reason you call yourself Black American is because you don't know where you're from.
Yo, but anyway, what are you trying to get to?
Listen, let me talk real quick. I'm about to school them on something.
Yeah, school me on what? What are you trying to school me on? No.
Not you. I'm talking about the L-Dog.
Oh, okay. No, but listen, what we're trying to get to in this boxing thing, yeah? This racism in boxing is always going to be there. It's how we deal with it now. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah. And let's be honest, right? Remember what Bernard Hopkins done to T.O. Trinidad? Do you remember what he did to the whole fucking nation?
Hey, is that
So do you remember?
is that 3-2?
Okay, I get to them.
L-Dog, that sells a lot of fights, though, doesn't it?
It does. It's a controversial. But hold up, Mitch Johnson. What I'm trying to say is, you say you're Black American.
Right.
What is? But you don't know where you're from, dude. You don't know where you're from. You don't know your history.
Let me tell you, my history is being America. You don't fuck.
Nah, right. It ain't American. It's like, hey, hold on, Magic Johnson. I was born in New Zealand, but I'm not a New Zealander, bro. This ain't where I'm from.
How old is America? I believe in so,
but hold on, you call yourself a Black American, so where is your family from?
I'm trying to school him because he don't understand. I'm trying to school him.
L-Dog's not going to stop on you, bro.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Hold on. Magic Johnson, Rap Star knows where he's from. He's from India. That's where his family is from.
In America.
Your ancestors from America.
Yeah, where's your ancestors from?
America.
So okay. So your ancestors evolved throughout America.
Okay. So as a Jamaican, where they from? Is Jamaica a country? If you ask a motherfucking Jamaican where they from, they say they from Jamaica. You know Jamaicans or slaves too who happened to get uncolonized. That's not they came to Jamaica, right? You know, there was an island that was dropped off from.
But Magic Johnson.
But Magic, what I'm saying is, Black American is not like a thing, bro. You need to research your history. I'm telling you, brother. Because no, it's not, bro. Because it's like me saying, hold on, ref stop. Sorry, Magic. That's like Magic. That's like me saying I'm a white New Zealander. What the fuck is that, bro? I know where I'm from. I'm from Croatia.
You know what a Black American is because you our music, don't you?
No.
You know what our music is. You know who we are.
I listen to metalcore and deathcore, most of which is produced by white people or European people.
What was produced? Tell me what was produced by white people.
But like, look, let me ask you something. A lot of black people in my country. A lot of my black people. Let me ask you something. A lot of my black friends in my country, they either come from Jamaica, Africa, Somalia. They have roots.
Do you know Jamaica is a fucking slave colony?
They always tell me where their roots are from. Where are
Exactly. That's what rap style.
White.
It was from
indigenous.
Yo, I'm gonna switch the subject real quick because y'all going into a negative path. That's not cool.
Yeah, this is like a biology class.
So I'm gonna just to get everybody involved.
Smoke.
All right, listen, can you just let this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I just want to change the direction a little bit because this.
You can stop it right
Your respect, please.
Joanne.
Thank you. So,
Sister Joanne.
So, all I want to say.
All right, there you go.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Oh yeah.
All right. So, okay. So the guy that you was hearing, that was a so-called Black American, right? But I think I heard he say he was mixed in another clip he in, right? Or no, it might be somebody else, but whatever. It was a so-called Black American, right? But you hear him, he's kind of on, like he's kind of on to certain things, but he's not all the way equipped, right? So he's telling him like, I'm an American. Like he's saying, notice how they keep telling him, the Slavic guy, right? Oh, you're of African descent. Notice he keeps saying it, right? And he's very particular in saying African descent, right? So he's not calling you an African American because you're not somebody that, if you did come from Africa, which you don't, you don't. So if you did, then you haven't recently come over here, like, to be considered African American. Somebody like Barack Obama would be African American. He really actually just came over here from Africa, right? But he's trying to say, yeah, you're of African descent, like it happened a long time ago, right? But notice the so-called Black American is like, he knows because his experience, intuition knows, but he don't have it all the way together. He's like, no, I'm from America. Like his spirit and his soul telling him like, no, I'm from America. But you could tell by the way he's talking, he hasn't really done much to prove it, right? Because that was his moment. He was in front of all of those people, right? And he had a chance to defend. Again, I told you it's a lumberjack match, right? Can you fight? Can you defend yourself? He was trying to, he was kind of like, he was funny now, but he was kind of doing like but he wasn't all the way there. If he would have done his genealogy, he could have pulled some papers out. He could have really educated him, right? But with that, because I got other videos too I want to show y'all, but Isaiah 5:14, right? Therefore hell have enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. And the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and God that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually start at verse 5 and 13. Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. And that ain't just talking about food. Like, you don't know who you are, you're in captivity because of your lack of wisdom and knowledge. And I'm not saying nobody's dumb, but it's not a matter of being dumb. It's a matter of effort and spirit and care. Your lack of wanting to educate yourself and equip yourself is why you're in captivity, right? You didn't seek the real wisdom and knowledge, which was, we just went over Proverbs, right? The fear of the Creator, that was the real wisdom and knowledge. So when you didn't stick the code with that, when you didn't become learned in that and fearing the Creator, you went into captivity. Now you don't know who you are. Now you don't even have wisdom and knowledge of yourself. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. That's self-explanatory. You don't know who the Creator is. You're not seeking the Creator, and you don't know who you are. And I know if you don't have the spirit to seek the Creator, you're not gonna have the spirit to seek who you are, right? Like, if he only would have been a little bit more learned and probably have done his genealogy, he could have really, really, really broke them down in that moment. That was his chance. He was on it. He was telling them he was an American, but he couldn't all the way put it together, right? Again, that attack on your history. If they're telling you you of African descent, and yeah, you could tell them, and notice how he's saying that, yeah, we were slaves, we built the country. But what did that guy say? He said, you can't contribute one race to building the country. Because think about this, right? They're bringing new people in each day, new immigrants to work the old jobs, the slave-like jobs, before they put the robots in, right? But they're bringing those people in to work their jobs. Those same people are out here now talking about how they work and they're building the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't base it off of that, right? It's more than that. Like, if this is your land, this is your genealogy, claim it, let it be known. That's why your resources, you have a lack of resources. If you don't know where you're from, how are you ever gonna get to the resources of that land? And what if you are on the land where you're from, but you don't think you're from here? Therefore, you're not getting to the resources. That's blocked from you, right? Can you go to the well, unless somebody has something to say? Can you?
Yeah, Shava got two. He posted two comments.
Okay.
Shava said, often intended, never displaced. They know that whatever we touch will prosper, so they try to be us to collect the overflow. And he said, and like we talked about in the study, we would tell them, yeah, that's the same thing. We would tell them our secrets, and we want to be inclusive when we need to be separated.
I got a video about that too, Brother Shava. I do. Like, Yako, can you go, like, if this is a real little quick segment, I just want y'all to hear one little piece he say. Can you start at like 8:37:00?
I'm
It's
already
like a little bit. Okay, yeah, it's like 3-4 minutes, this video. But just kind of listen, y'all. They finna talk about, they just gonna say something I want you to hear, right? And the dude that's talking, I told you he's not a Black American. The dude punched with the red hat. He may look it, but he's not. He's Latino. So yeah, can you play 8:37?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me get it there. Let me get it dead on the point. All right. Give me 1 second. Yeah, while it's getting there, one thing and those are very key points. I just want to kind of elaborate a little bit. Those are very key points. If you don't do your research, excuse me, when people put you on a spot like that, yes, we Americans, but notice he kept pushing him back to Africa. And when somebody push you back to Africa, then you say, well, I'm America. But notice what that other guy kept saying. Well, I'm from where? India. But my people moved over here. They kept trying to tell this man he was a slave. I mean, think about it. If somebody keep trying to tell you that you're a slave, why would you sit there and you're supposed to be ready to show these people that you're not a slave.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. This thing got skipped on me. No.
Genealogy, y'all. Pull up that genealogy on them.
All right, it's getting there. Go ahead.
Yeah, we all right, if we all to do that, like if we all start doing our genealogy and then coming together discussing what we found out and then presenting it forth, that's how the word travel. That's how you educate them on who we are. The truth, instead of them telling you of African descent. They want you to be of African descent. Because if you're not of African descent and you got some kind of ownership here, imagine what would happen if that was be known, like, yo, so-called black people are really indigenous to America. They didn't come from Africa. And you talking about reparations.
No, go and finish your thought. Finish your thought.
No, I'll wait for you. Nah, you can play the video if it's ready. If not, then I can keep going.
All right. So we still under fair use. We still under fair use. Let's ride.
2013, 2012, through 2000, almost when before I started the YouTube, right? And it was called The Truth Hurts Ouch.com, right? A lot of people felt I used to get I got a lot of emails, right? It was more about community and politics and family court. I was really going at the family court system and businesses and owning business within our community. And I was doing the research for months. And around 2014, there was only 2 supermarkets. It was 3, but at the time when I was doing the research, one of them was selling their company. It was only 3 supermarkets. What about the big supermarkets in the whole country owned by African American? 3 in this whole country. That was in Baltimore, Alabama, Georgia. Thinking of Georgia, the one that was the one that was selling. They were selling it. One of them was owned by a married couple. Another one that was sold by a man. And I said, and my article was more about the piece was about more if they would not have they don't own no businesses. I mean, no food business. How they gonna get their food? If Latin and Asian and white stop and don't own, let's say they close up shop, where would they get their food? You know? And I think in 2019, they have that there's more African Americans owning businesses, yet they're not hired. They own collectively. They only have hired. These businesses have hired over 108,000 employees in America. These are the certain things that needs to be worked out. Create more businesses that employ people. Just not create businesses, but create businesses to employ people.
Real talk.
Because that's when people from the outside, and unfortunately, because we already know the history, so we know how it's hard for African Americans to own business. Not in the past, because they actually did own businesses in the past and it's property.
I'm glad you said that.
But let's say a Latin guy or Asian guy, or they come in to get a job. They're not looking for the black man because the black man they got nothing to offer them. And if somebody doesn't got nothing to offer you, how you look at them?
Yeah, but that's the same thing in the Latin community. They have a mindset where they working mindset. They don't have leadership mindset. They don't own everything for them to give other leaders leadership mindset.
No, one thing that is an advantage of Latin people is that they have a resource where, let's say, the grocery store that used to be, on my block where I used to live, they used to get a lot of their food from DR farm, so it was easy. It's almost like the Chinese. They get their product in China. The difference is with Black America, it's harder because they just can't. I don't know. They don't have a resource probably in Africa, so they could directly do business with them, and their business is doing well. The Africans have it, like the Africans right in Harlem. They have it.
Wow.
They have that connection. But even that's why the Africans, even the Africans and African Americans, they don't coexist. They don't do business with each other. They look at the same way. They got nothing to offer us, and
that's what I was talking about. It's a difference between communal wealth and personal wealth. When your community has wealth, then yes, you can get all that networking that you're talking about. But when it's just you and you have a huge family, you have your nuclear family, you have your extended family, you have your friends, and you're the only person that made it, but everybody's looking to you. There's only so many jobs you can have, right? And not even
stop it right there, you go.
Families even the best suited people to do the job, right?
You can stop it right there.
An issue when when you're looking at an individual's responsibility to lift up the community.
All right, there you go.
All right. So I just wanted y'all to hear that, y'all, because this is this is a guy that's from a Latino country, right? And he's telling you like, yo, they got resources. He's like, when they have bodegas and they grocery stores and stuff set up, he's telling you like they get their food from the resource, from the supply, from their country, right? But he asked a good question. He said, if everybody closed up shop, where would you get your food from? Where's your resource? That's powerful. That's a powerful question, right? That goes back to, do you even know where you from? Where would your resource come from? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're pushing you to say you're from Africa, you're not from Africa. And shout out to the Africans. I don't have no problem with no Africans, but I'm only talking about genealogy. Because Africans say that Black Americans aren't Africans. They be like, y'all not from here. And every time, listen, if you don't believe me, go to YouTube and look up any video of an African talking about American slave trade. They sound just as clueless as you. They'll try to go read a book on it, or they be like, yeah, we're so sorry that this happened. And they getting funds pushed to them for reparations, right? But they don't know. They really don't know nothing about it. Nobody over there lost a brother, a cousin, a sister. A so-called white man didn't go over there and take any so-called Black people. Nobody knows about any of these things, right? But what if you're from here and this is really your source and your food, but you're not claiming it? Then you are cut off from your connect, right?
Right. And the thing is too, excuse me, notice he said also that the so-called African Americans and the Africans, the real Africans, we don't even see eye to eye.
Yeah.
So he's telling you that we're different people. So therefore, our net source should be different. But we got people trying to teach us and tell us that our net source is Africa. And that's why we are not really thriving how we supposed to thrive, because because they're putting our energy someplace else when it's supposed to be really where we are actually from is right here. But I digress. Go ahead.
I think that's the plan all along. Because if they continue to get us to think and gravitate to something that's not even us, then that makes it easy for other cultures or other nationalities to come in and take what's ours as if it's theirs.
And make sure as when you come into the building, you press that like and subscribe button if you haven't. The sister's doing very well tonight, so make sure y'all support her with thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And if you're feeling extra, good tonight, share the page and let others know that the sister's over here cooking. Go ahead, Sister Latoya.
Now, before we go to the next video, I just wanted to point something out, right? Notice he's talking about there's no source, and if everybody close up shop, where would you get your food supply from, right? Because he's recognizing it. Everybody like talking about the curses. One of the curses, right? he should the stranger that's within thee, where he should get real high above thee. He should lend to thee, and thou should not lend to him, right? Which means you're gonna be a borrower. And other people see that sign. Remember, that's a sign that wonder you forever. Other people can see that on you. You are a borrower, right? And that's crazy because Deuteronomy 15:6, for the Lord thy God blesseth thee as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow. And thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren, with any of thy gates in thy land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thy heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother, right? But thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend unto him sufficient for his need, and that which he wanted. And you're supposed to be able to have that too, Lynn. We shouldn't be poor. The creator, like that verse, is Israel a homeborn slave? The creator didn't create you to be a slave. He didn't create you to be a borrower. If you are a borrower, you're not in your place, right? That's Deuteronomy 32. His people are, their spot is not their spot. It's crooked and perverse, right? You're not living your role. You're not living out what we talked about earlier, the servant. So this is how they're able to take from you, because you're not even doing what you're supposed to be doing anyway. Therefore, why would God bless it? Why would God protect them from taking hip hop from you? Is you using hip hop to serve the creator? And I love hip hop too, because I love hip hop. I listen to it for real. Like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's not like that. I'm only pointing out to you that the reason why we losing the battle and the culture being taken, the creator not fighting for you, right? And you can play the next video, because I wanted to show y'all the other videos too.
Shava just made a point.
Okay.
He says he did not make points. So, says he did not make points. We have businesses, but not resources.
No. In fact, he did make points. He did, Shava. I have to disagree with that. He did make points.
Yeah, he said he did make points.
I thought it said he didn't.
We have businesses, but not resources.
Right. We're not connected. It's not. I thought you said he didn't.
I did, so yeah.
All right. We on the fair use. We still on the fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act. This is not our material. We claim no rights to this material. This is for teaching purposes and educational purposes only. So let's dive in. Let's go. Oh, my bad.
Joey and Tony Montana were robbing people at school. They took money, jewelry, coats, and even sneakers from students. They even had the seniors.
Yeah, you can do it from the beginning.
School.
You want me to start from the beginning?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we don't have to play a lot of. Yeah,
you want me the very beginning?
Yeah, because this is. Yeah.
Okay, just let me know when to stop it.
All right.
You are watching the Fat Joe Store. Sit back and relax. Since the early 90s, Fat Joe's been relevant in the hip-hop world. Before the Notorious B.I.G., Nas, and Jay-Z all came into the scene, Fat Joe was already in the game making a name for himself. He came into the rap game as a member of the legendary crew DITC, also known as Digging in the Crates crew. Since then, Fat Joe has released 10 solo albums and 5 collaboration albums, altogether selling over 8 million records, including his singles. Not only did Fat Joe represent for the Bronx and all the big men in the world, he represented for Latinos all around the country. He is now one of the biggest Latino rappers ever. Fat Joe even introduced one of the greatest rappers of all time to the world. The late Big Pun was the first Latino solo rapper to ever go platinum. Before his untimely death, Big Pun sold over 2 million records in only 2 years. Terror Squad was a strong force in the late 90s. Fat Joe, Big Pun, Tony Sunshine, Triple Six, Prospect, Armageddon, and Cuban Link did it big for the Latinos. Not only was Terror Squad making noise in the rap industry, they made noise in the streets as well. Since the mid-'80s, Terror Squad has been a fierce street crew who allegedly robbed and hurt a whole lot of people. Fat Joe had one of the longest careers in hip-hop history. For decades, he has been blessing the world with classic hits. We all knew his music, but we didn't know his story. This is his story. Joseph Antonio Cartagena, born on August 19, 1970, in the South Bronx, New York. His mother, Marie, is Puerto Rican, and his father, Ernesto, is Cuban. Marie met Ernesto when her first husband was incarcerated. She was married to a guy by the name of Angel. The two had 3 children together, 2 boys and a girl, Angel Jr., Ramon, and Lisa. Ernesto had 9 kids himself back in Cuba. He moved to America for a better life. Ernesto was a hard-working man. Not only was he a baker and carpenter, Ernesto sold ices and food in the summertime. Him and Marie moved into a 3-bedroom apartment in Forest Houses. Forest Houses are a housing project located in Morrisana, Bronx. It consists of 15 buildings with a total of 1,350 apartment units. The projects were filled with 85% Black families and 15% Latino families. Ernesto and the family lived in building 1000 Trinity Ave on the 5th floor. Just 2 months after Joseph was born, Marie's husband Angel was released from jail and wanted his family back. After finding out that Marie had another child when he was away, Angel was enraged. Not only did he come looking for Marie's new boyfriend, he also came looking for a 2-month-old Joseph. Angel threatened to kill Joseph. Marie was in fear for her baby. She quickly took Joseph over to one of the neighbors to keep him safe. When Angel Sr. came in the apartment building looking for Joseph, a group of men who lived in the building jumped on Angel and beat him down pretty badly for trying to kill a baby. Due to Angel Sr. having 3 kids with Marie, he continued to come around. Joseph never liked his sibling's father. He felt uncomfortable every time Angel Sr. came around. Joseph and his siblings all attended the same elementary school. The Cartagenas were known in the neighborhood. They wasn't afraid to fight and they stuck together no matter what. Joseph was a big kid. Although the family was poor, the Cartagenas ate really good. At an early age, Joseph becomes the black sheep of the family. He was known to be a bad kid. He even caught his grandmother's house on fire one time. Joseph stayed getting punished. He spent a lot of time locked in rooms. Growing up in the South Bronx back then was really rough. In 1972, the entire South Bronx neighborhoods were allegedly burned down by greedy landlords and residents for money. 80% of housing was lost to the fires. Over 250,000 people were displaced. The South Bronx was now a dark place. Neighborhoods were now surrounded by burned down houses and buildings, abandoned houses and buildings, destroyed vehicles, and cracked sidewalks. Many people were now homeless. The South Bronx was no longer a place people wanted to visit. Joseph and the other kids didn't have much to do. For fun, they would flip around on dirty mattresses that someone threw outside. Joseph and his family became good friends with many of the black families in the projects. When Joseph was 10 years old, he was beaten down by a grown man from the neighborhood. The man accused Joseph of trying to kill his infant daughter by throwing batteries at people from off the roof. Joseph was beaten bloody in front of everyone in the projects. He even had a concussion. That wouldn't be the last time Joseph was jumped on. Angel Jr. introduced Joseph to hip hop in the early 80s. MCs such as Curtis Blow, Treacherous 3, Sugar Hill Gang, and Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five were all the faces of hip hop. One day, while visiting their grandparents, Angel Jr. and Joseph seen Scorpio from the Furious Five hanging out in the neighborhood.
You say stop? You say stop?
No,
Okay.
it's about. I'm about to in like a few minutes though, but no, not right now.
All
Just
right,
get to the part.
let me go to clean
Mhm.
that commercial.
I just want y'all to see how like he's telling you his upbringing around blacks for a reason.
All right. So let's ride.
I'm seeing a rapper in person. This inspired both Angel and Joseph to rap. In the 6th grade, Joseph got the nickname Joey Crack because his pants would always come down and show the crack of his behind. Students would often tease him about it. Although Joseph was teased at school, he was still a class clown. He enjoyed making people laugh.
I don't want to get a copyright strike on that. Let me let the music pass.
Began taking over in the early 80s. Many young blacks and
Turn it down.
Latinos in New York City became either MCs, B-boys, DJs, or graffiti artists. A guy from Forest Projects by the name of Michael Lawrence Morrow, also known as Phase 2, was one of the first graffiti artists in New York City. The first graffiti artist ever is a guy from Philadelphia by the name of Daryl Cornbread McCrae. McCrae been tagging walls and buildings in the early 60s. By the early 70s, graffiti was huge on the East Coast. In 1970, the New York Transit Authority spent $250,000 to remove vandalism. By 1973, all 6,802 New York City subways, trains was tagged. Phase 2 took graffiti to another level. He's credited with originating the bubble letter style of aerosol writing, also known as softies. At the age of 12, Joey joined a graffiti crew by the name of Terror Squad. Terror Squad was started by two older guys in the neighborhood. Gizmo and Cosmo started Terror Squad in the early 80s. The crew quickly became popular in the neighborhood. Gizmo taught Joey how to graph. Joey was now going by the name of Joey Crack TS. He took tagging very seriously. Sometimes Joey would even sneak out of the house at 5 a.m. to tag builders and trains with Gizmo. When the crew needed spray paint, they would steal cans from the store. Joey was kicked out of several middle schools for tagging walls. He then attended Junior High 148. Junior High 148 was located on the other side of town. The school was 99.9% black. Joey didn't know anyone there. It wouldn't be long before he started getting bullied by the other kids. Every day after school, Joey was jumped by 15 to 20 kids. He would often go home with bruises and busted lips. This would go on for 2 whole years. It was a struggle going to school at the time. Joey only had one close friend. According to Joey, him and this kid were like brothers. One day after school, the gang of kids surrounds Joey and his friend. They ask his friend why is he with the Puerto Rican. The friend explains to the kids that Joey is his best friend. The kids give the friend 2 choices, either get beat up with Joey or help them beat up Joey. The friend decides to help beat up Joey. Once again, Joey gets jumped by 15 to 20 kids. At 13-year-old Joey was heartbroken. Not only was he tired of getting jumped every day, he was betrayed
You
by
can
his
stop it
best
right there. You
friend.
go.
Joey isolated himself.
All right.
Hey, cause I I wanted y'all to see that video to see like so you cause this is where with Brother Shava, right? The comment you made about showing secrets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Notice the thing, right? So he got the same story a lot of other people got. They say they came here from somewhere else and they grew up around black people. They grew that seemed to be the common thing, right? And they seen the black culture and they fell in love, right? Okay, so we got that thing. Can you do the next video? I just because I wanted to show that the build up to the next video. It should say something about Belanga, Edgar Belanga.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
And I just want to show y'all this real quick. This is a quick video. Like I'm gonna show you this. Like it's just a certain part I want you to hear about, and put it to this old Fat Joe thing. I think it's at 6:25. I think. Yeah. But
The Belonga.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
that go back
Okay,
to
it's
what
ready.
Brother Shop did. You said it's ready?
No, okay, here we go. Edgar Belonga, Andre Ward.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, because again, that go back to what Brother Shava said. So you made that comment about them letting in all the secrets. He just told you that he grew up in black neighborhood, black friends that taught him how to rap. They taught him the culture. And look at us today. Look at where we stand with him today. Look at how today he's trying to lead a movement to try to say that his people have some type of ownership with your people. When you just let him in, embraced him, right? You thought you was doing a good thing.
Okay, I'm trying to. Okay, give me 1 second.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Here we go. I just wanted to make sure that was it. All right.
So Kings.
Here we go. And you wanted to start at
6:25. This dude,
6:20.
this guy, yeah, the guy in the white shirt, he's also Puerto Rican, right? But listen to what he says, and then think about the video we just seen on Fat Joe. Let's see if we can put something together.
All right. Fair use, fair use. We still under the Fair Use Act. Let's ride.
Me about the New York kid growing up. I wrote about this in my book, how at the Nationals, got kids from Philly, Ohio, Michigan, all over. But the New York kids were a little bit different.
Yeah.
It always seemed like they were super young, but like they had grown man conversation. I'm looking at this dude like, bro, you 8, like you 10, what you talking about? And they always had the latest fashion. What is it about the New York kid that kind of gives them that confidence and that swag?
New York is like the capital of like fashion.
Y'all get it first.
Yeah, 100%, man. And especially like with us, right? Like with me, I was born and raised in the hood and the projects and stuff. So that's all you see. You see the guys, the guys that was in the streets, dealing with, with certain things and stuff. And you see the big cars, you see the chains, you go on the TV, you see the rappers, one of them was Fat Joe. I used to always see Fat Joe, big chains on and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was something that, that we grew up around, it was like, it's a hip hop culture in New York, you know what I'm saying? And with us, that's just all I saw. And I fell in love with it, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it doesn't make me, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make me who I am, it's something that I like.
Okay, you can stop it
But when
right
you
there.
think about that's the
All right.
sort of the fashion piece and sort of the cultural.
Yeah. So just that quick piece, right? So Andre Ward is asking him, like, about growing up in New York and the fashion, because the dude Edgar Blanca, you see the way he look now? Every time you see him, he's like changed, you know what I'm saying? Tries to look like a rapper, right? So he's asking him about that. And it's kind of like a bait question to see where he's gonna go with it, right? So he being smart and crafty, instead of him saying, where I grew up around so-called black people, where I seen the black culture, I liked it. He didn't even acknowledge you at all. He said it's the New York culture. And he also said that Fat Joe. So in his mind, he attributes your culture to Fat Joe. But then we just see the video where Fat Joe like seen your culture, and he also came from somewhere else and he fell in love with it, and you let him in. But when you let him in, he turned around and opened the door for his people, and they came in, and now they want your culture. That's why you're arguing right now about hip hop. When you let one in, they all come in. I mean, I'm not trying to say, I'm just keeping it real. Like, if you let one, like, what did we talk about before? With Sister Joanne said separatism, right? There was, and did you hear the part in the Fat Joe story where it says he got beat up, and they asked him, his friend, like, what you doing with a Puerto Rican? Because they knew back then, they understood separatism, like, it ain't no hard feelings, but we kind of need to stick to ourselves, stick to our own, right?
That's
So
right.
again, notice the pattern of they come in, they all say the same. They see your culture and they say they fell in love with it, right? It's something that they like. Um, I
Brother
wanted to read.
Brother Chavez said that they want to give everybody else credit but us.
And they can do that because if you don't understand your history, how can you defend it? And if like if you don't understand your history and you're in captivity, then you're not even in control over what's being written about your history right now. So that's why right now they're trying to write them into hip hop and into the like they was here, and it's no might in your hand. We're gonna get to that later on, but because Israel not doing what they supposed to do and the creator's not fighting for them, it's not no right now at this point. If his face is turned, then it's no might in their hand, right? I kind of wanted to read like 2 Kings 20 and 12. This is talking about Hezekiah, right? Hezekiah, one of the kings of Israel, well, of Judah, really. But he got sick in the Bible, but he was allowed to live extra time. The Creator spared him. Well, so at that time, whatever it started 20 and 12, at that time, Berodach Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present unto Hezekiah, for he heard that Hezekiah had been sick. And Hezekiah hearkened unto them, and showed them all the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold, and the spices and the precious ointment, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasure. There was nothing in his house, nor in his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not. So boom, you got Hezekiah sick. Um, he was allowed to recover. The king of Babylon, tried to send him a letter acting like he cared about him, and tried to go visit. Like they always come in peace. Remember the video we just seen? At first they come and they're like, they're friendly. I like what you got going on, or I'm in need. It's always coming in peace, right? And then when they come in peace and you let them in, now they're in. And now they can fight you from the inside, right? You go to verse 14. So this is after Hezekiah let them in and showed them everything, the silver, the gold. It says there was nothing in his house nor in all his dominion that Hezekiah showed them not. For some reason, he thought to show them everything, the whole dominion, his whole kingdom, right? Verse 14. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah and said unto him, what said these men, and from whence they came they unto thee? And Hezekiah said, they are come from a far country, even from Babylon. And he said, what have they seen in thine house? And Hezekiah answered, all the things that are in mine house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them. And Isaiah said unto Hezekiah, hear the word of the Lord. Behold, the days come that all that is in thine house, and that which thy fathers have laid up in store unto this day, shall be carried into Babylon. Nothing shall be left, said the Lord. So basically, and of course we know Israel had already sent anyway. They were already going to go into captivity because they kept, refusing to turn, and the different kings they were having. Some kings would be good kings, righteous, but a lot of them weren't, right? So we know they were going into captivity. But just with this story, it's symbolic because it's showing you like you let them in. You let your enemy in on the outside. Now they coming for everything you got. And now they got inner access. They know the inner workings. They in now. And equate that to the Fat Joe situation. He was let in. He was befriended. He was taught the culture. And he turned around just like the king of Babylon and came back for your culture. He's here for it now. And it's a lot more. See, when Fat Joe was coming up back in the day, if you kind of got to study immigration waves. So there was a lot of immigrants, but it may not have been as bad as it is today, right? So, but the way it is today, there's a lot more immigrants, so he has a lot more backing. They no longer have to try to play friendly with black people now, because it's like they played friendly, you embraced them, and you thought you kept, in the other video, they kept telling Punch, the Dominican, he was black. He's like, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. You're telling these people they black. So now that you told them that they you, why they can't have your culture, your history? And you showed them everything. Like you let them in and you showed them everything. We just seen the video with Fat Joe. It was black people teaching him how to do the black culture. And now he's out here telling people that he was like a pioneer. Like he was there from day one. He helped him and his people help build your culture. They was there. Now it's ours, we, us. I just wanted to point that out. If you can go to the next video. Well, not that video unless you got it queued.
So
Then
what
you
video?
can go
Because that was the next one that was on the line. Which one you want me to go to?
the Tiafimo one. Well, really, you can go to any of it. It don't matter. Just the next one. This video right here that's on the screen now, that was just like a rare 1940s rap to show that chanting over beats rapping been in the so-called black community. A lot of that stuff, a lot of the elements of hip hop come from down south. And you gotta think a lot of the people from down south were going up north back in the day to showcase their talents. So a lot of that stuff, a lot of that stuff you find like in the roots with the South, right? But it was monetized in New York. It was monetized in the Bronx. But that's why now so-called black people are fighting over hip hop because places like New York at this point in time are like immigration ports. That's a place, and it's been that way for a while, where they come set up new nations of people they want to move in. And when they come in, they're gonna be like, well, this is the New York thing. They're not gonna say this is the black thing. And if they feel like they're a New Yorker, they got a birth certificate that says that, now they feel like they have ownership of your culture. And it's not like you brought these people in, but there just wasn't no might in your hand because you didn't have the wisdom and knowledge. You didn't know what to do, how to fight, how to defend it. But yeah,
So in other words, we still in that lumberjack match.
yeah, yeah, from
Getting
all
beat up,
different angles.
from all getting beat up and trying to defend ourselves, but we don't have the power because we're still separated. But you ready to ride it?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Well,
roll.
you don't have to
Uh-huh.
play, or you go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, I'm saying if you was gonna play that, you didn't have to play all of it. I was gonna just show them him rapping. This is in the 1940s.
Okay, you just want me to just run a minute of it?
Yeah. Hmm.
All right. All right. Fair use, fair use. We're still in the Fair Use Act of 1976 on the Copyright Act. We don't claim the rights to this material. Fair use, fair use. Let's ride.
But it's over and over. Oh, oh no, oh no, I'm gonna ride on the winning jack, but it's over and over. Oh, oh no, oh no, I'm gonna ride on the winning jack.
Brother Noah, my God's talking, said he would ride on the wind and tide. Hey, children, stop still and listen to me. God walked down to the briny sea. He declared that he was the son of man, and then he decided to destroy the land. He spoke to Noah. Noah stopped. He said, Noah, I want you to build me an ark. I want you to build it 3 cubits long. I want you to build it big and strong. I want it 20 high and 50 wide, so it will stand the wind and tide. It's oh, Noah. Oh.
That's a minute.
Yeah, that's good. Just to show y'all, like that's something that has been going on. It didn't just start in the late 1970s, the early 80s. Chanting over a beat, hip hop, that's elements that our people like breakdancing, James Brown, a lot of them, all of them. Like a lot of that was how like especially Negroes in the South used to dance. Like a lot of that was Southern culture, but now they got you written out of it. And so now that New York takes ownership for, the elements of hip hop that have always been around in the so-called black community even before hip hop. But now that they take ownership of it, that allows anybody that come there, which is nothing but immigrants that go there, to now have some type of ownership and stake in what belong to you. If they
But
would actually acknowledge that those elements of hip hop came from Southern black folks and that was here, then you wouldn't have people from other countries saying that, oh, we was with them, we started it. No, we've been doing that. It went monetary. We didn't have it together, put together like that, but we've been doing that, breakdancing, chanting over beats, all of that. What was you gonna say, Nicole?
no, I was about to say, but it's something that you had said earlier that um we supposed to are we contributing hip hop to the creator, or is that really pretty much the desire of ourselves, and is that the reason why other nations have access to that particular gift of ours? Because remember, they stole rock and roll. They stole. It's almost like everything we create, they have the access to take it.
Yeah, that's why I asked, are we reformed? Because if our ancestors told us that, okay, they stole country music, stole rock and roll, and we heard it, we was like, dang, that's messed up. They ain't gonna do that to us. That's what we were thinking. But then now it's 2020, well, about to be 2025. But now, in right before your eyes, right now, is people out here debating over who created hip hop. I never thought I would see it. It happened again. We wasn't reformed. We didn't learn. How did that happen again? How does that keep happening generation by generation? Your culture, history, what belongs to you keep getting taken. That's not happening to other people. And I don't think the creator's protecting it because I don't think it's his design.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. That's excuse me. That's a very good point, because why would a creator protect anything that does not belong to him or that is not ordained back to him? Just real quick, it reminds me of the story in the scriptures in Torah when Israel was going up against their enemy. They had gathered the choir together, and the choir sung so beautiful that it confused the enemy, and the enemy started killing themselves. I mean, those who don't know that story, you need to go look it up. I think it's in Chronicles, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing is that they contributed their voice back to the creator, for they allow the creator to use the voice of them for the purpose of of bailing them out of a war. But the problem is going back to what you had said. What are we using rap for? Why do we create the genre? The genre to be able to do what? Why do we create rap, rock? Why do we create any type of music if it wasn't for the creators, for the purpose of the creator?
I agree. Remember how on the Bible it says how when they create musical instruments trying to be like David. Yeah, David was a man like he did like the ministry, music and ministry. he like was very musical and dancing and all that. Well, if you really study, Chronicles and King and stuff, it tell you about him musically. But he was serving and praising the Creator, and it's like, so you might have that genetic gift, you know what I'm saying, of King David, but are you using that to like serve and praise the Creator? What are you saying? Like in your music, what is your music saying? Is it praising the Creator? And it's not just about music too. It's like basketball too. Like if you look at the NBA, they trying their hardest now. That so-called blacks that built the NBA, they're trying their hardest to like. Of course, they tapping in other markets, but they trying their hardest to make it like taking blacks from being the face now is built and making it like more of a international thing. But you know what I'm saying? They're trying to take it like they're trying to change the face of it basically.
They did
So it's
baseball like
happening.
they did
Yeah,
baseball like that.
yeah.
Brother Shava say that was initial assertion for hip hop, but once they seen the power that the music had, we went from fight the power to, he said the B's ain't S.
And that was by design too, exactly. And they seen how much influence it had. They was like, "Oh, we can use this to destroy them."
And just real quick, remember back, remember when hip hop rap came out. It was a consciousness there, meaning that at the end of every rap or during the rap, you get something from it. But now when you listen, they brought out this what this thing is now, this drum, this trap music, and
Drill.
drill music. But then now, if you listen to them, at one time, the rappers opened up their mouth and there was a message there. Now the rappers ain't opening their mouth. It's just mumble. And there's no message. When there was a message, what was taking place? We was doing things, we was reading the books, because remember, we always wanted to try to improve our vocabulary, because that's what help us rap or make it sound like we was intelligent by getting these. Are you a professor? I mean, are you a philosopher? KRS-One, yes. And they used them big words. So it caused a lot of brothers and sisters to go and use the dictionary to be able to improve their vocabulary. Now you can't get people to pick up a dictionary today. You can't even get people to pick up a book. Let's go. You ready for the next video? It's just mumble. It's just mumble. You can't even understand nothing they say. But you ready?
I'm ready. Oh wait, no. That's the last video. I'm sorry.
Oh, so don't. All right. So you told me to pick up. All right, hold on. Let me come on out this. I got you. And Colton. Go ahead. Just cue me up. You
Oh yeah, you can play this whole video. I just want y'all to hear what she finna say. Yeah, you can go ahead, Disney, because
all right. Make sure if you haven't pressed that like button, make sure you push that like button. Tonight, make sure, even though the Ghost Rider, shalom to each one of you. Make sure as you come into the building, you press that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the page, subscribe to the page. And if you feel it extra a little bubbly tonight, share the page and let somebody know that the sister's over here cooking. All right. So we are here. All right. So let's go. The fair use. We're still in the Fair Use Act of the Copyright Act of 1976. You ready?
yep.
All right. Let's ride.
You made kind of a provocative comment in your new book here, Mugged, and I think it's on page 151. You write that various groups, feminist, gay rights groups, and those who are defending immigrants have commandeered the Black civil rights experience.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that because I think it's one of the most important points of the book. I mean, I think the way liberals have treated Blacks like children, and many of their policies have been harmful to Blacks. At least they got the beneficiary group right. We do have to, I mean, we shouldn't. There is the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow laws. We don't owe the homeless. We don't owe feminists. We don't owe women who are desirous of having abortions, but that's, or gays who want to get married to one another. That's what civil rights has become for much of the left. They dropped the Blacks after 5 minutes.
Immigrant rights are not civil rights?
No, I think civil rights are for Blacks.
See, this is essentially the problem, and the Republicans
What
don't
can I just
understand.
say, what have we done to the immigrants? We owe Black people something. We have a legacy of slavery. Immigrants haven't even been in this country.
But you see, most of us are either immigrants or are the descendants of immigrants, and we understand that not everybody. There are Native Americans, but we understand in this country. We understand in this country that kind of self-deportation, making things so difficult for immigrants, for undocumented immigrants, that they have to leave, or the DREAM Act, vetoing, threatening to veto the DREAM Act, which is what Romney has said. I mean, and again, we have Governor Romney, who is basically taking a position that is anti a large and the fastest growing segment of the electorate.
And here's the thing, if Republicans don't do something with immigration, and if Republicans are so far away from Latinos, they're going to lose not only this election, they might lose the White House for generations.
The future.
And Texas to turn
That's why the Democrats are dropping the Blacks and moving on to the Hispanics because they're a larger group of Hispanics now. But can I just say to Jorge, I hate to disagree with you when you're attacking President Obama, but I think the point on immigration is you can have open borders or you can have a welfare state. You cannot have both.
Yeah, I remember this video. This video made me mad.
Why you say that?
Because they purposely try to hold on. They purposely try to ignore the plight of us as a people. Ann Coulter was pretty much on point. She said them immigrants was not here. And notice what he said, that they all are either immigrants or from the descendants of immigrants. So that means everybody came to your house to eat. And if everybody came to your house to eat, then tell me what you got left over for you to eat. And she said they don't owe, she said the American government don't owe the immigrants anything. And notice what she also noticed what he said, that that guy said that the Native Americans were here. And she said but they kind of overdrowned her if you go back and listen to it. She said they come from someplace else too.
I heard her say that.
But that goes back to everything that you were saying tonight and what you showed. Nobody have respect for the Negro in America. In the Negro plate, every time he tries to eat, everybody else eat off his plate. And we're starving. We don't have no nothing. Because the guy said if the Latinos, the whites, and everybody else shut their stoves up, what we got? How many of us know how to plant? Like we've been talking about all the time. Plant. Half of us are starved. How many of us know how to hunt, fish? Or we still sitting there depending on, I mean, you cooking, sis. You cooking. So you cooking. Let me pull up. You got it. Let me pull up the last one. You ready?
Yeah. I think it was like 2 more I wanted to show.
You got 2 more? You must be
But-
just those.
No. But look, with what touching on what you were saying, that made me think about, hold on, let me get it. Isaiah 63:17. Oh Lord, Why hast thou made us to err from thy ways, and hardened our heart from thy fear? Return for thy servant's sake the tribes of thine inheritance. The people of thy holiness have possessed it but a little while. Our adversaries have trodden down thy sanctuary. We are thine, thou never bearest rule over them. They were not called by thy name.
But
And
now
that
they
should be
telling you they are called by the name.
you think that's the A, you know, in Deuteronomy 32 when it says, hold on, let me get it.
What is the other two videos? What is the other two videos?
It should say something about Teofimo.
I don't think you gave me those.
Yeah, they was in there. You don't see like another one.
They get locked up on me. Hold on.
Why you getting that? It made me think about Deuteronomy. What you think about this? Deuteronomy 32:16. Um, they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations. Provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to God, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begat thee, thou unmindful and hast forgotten God that formed thee. And when the Lord saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end should be, for they are very forward generation, children in whom was no faith. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. Like that verse right there, do you think he's saying like since they want to serve other guys that's not God, and you know he's jealous, right? He's a jealous guy, like so now he's gonna make us jealous, like with people that's not a people.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. That's right. So you want the
Did you?
Shakur Stevenson? You want the Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah, you can play that one.
Okay.
I think it's at number. Let me see.
You got 2
One
minutes.
of them's at 30. Yeah, one of them is at 34. Start at 34, and then one of them start at 159. But can you play the one that started 34?
Yeah, yeah, I'm ready already. Yeah, for us losing everything and other people coming and take it, I believe, and I see this as a what you call it, like a punishment. Because what? Because if we, how you say it, if we prosper while we are being disobedient, then what would the curses be put in place for? I believe this is a punishment on us. We can't hold nothing. We can't keep nothing. We can't now everybody else gonna prosper around us, but I believe we're gonna be the ones that be sitting there crying because they're taking everything off our plate. But there you goes. I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we still under Fair Use Act of 1976. Let's go. Let's go.
This video too where they supposed to be talking about boxing, but he raised the question. If you look at the video, raised the question. Shakur Stevenson, who is a boxer, right? He's mixed. His mama's so-called black. His daddy's Puerto Rican, right? So Shakur Stevenson identifying as a Latino, Puerto Rican, is not being accepted by blacks and Latinos. Why? So he's opening up a panel discussion, seeing why his problems dealing with that.
Right.
But of course, the conversation go left. So
You said what now?
I said, but then of course the conversation. I told you like that. They're supposed to be like they're obsessed with you. Like they're always watching you. The Speckled Bird. Remember? They're always watching you.
Right.
Just let me know. Is it Is it ready?
Yeah. It's not playing?
I can't hear it.
Hold on.
Maybe it's my phone.
I see mine's over here done froze. Yours ain't froze? Hold on. As I pull it up. Let me come back out. Hold on, let me come back out. No, see it. Hold on. All right. All right, right here. Bam. All right, let me share. Present. I got you, brother Shava. Share. Let me see if it come through. There we go. All right. Let me get this on out of here. Get the commercial off. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. It froze. So let me go back again. You want me to start at what now? 34, right?
Yeah. And you can end it at 45, 43. Well, if it's time.
All right, here we go. Fair use.
You ain't never been to Africa. You don't know your great daddy. So why do blacks, certain blacks, those recognized as African American? I'm giving you the same reason not to recognize as an African American, just like you given the same reason that Shakur Stevenson not to recognize being Puerto Rican. Let's play that game. Let's play the game. If Shakur Stevenson is not real Puerto Rican, it's not real Puerto Rican because he don't speak the language, because he wasn't raised in that culture. He shouldn't identify. He shouldn't recognize it. So why you recognizing yourself as an African American then? Because you ain't never been to Africa.
I don't recognize.
You don't know the languages out there, different languages in Africa. You don't know the culture out there. So why you say I'm African American?
I wish I could have got on.
Why you say you African? You don't know nothing about Africa, just like you feel like Shakur Stevenson don't know nothing about no Puerto Rico.
Wish I could have got on the platform with him.
Oh, now, Punch, you got a point now, Punch. Shit, like, yeah, let Punch humble your ass. Let Punch drum box and humble your ass. Let me humble y'all. Jackie Hernández coló 10 pesos de Super Chari Chari Party K a comprar comida china today. La reina de boxeo. Am I saying something? Am I saying something? Brian Guzman in the building. What's good, Brian? Brian Guzman in the building. Am I saying something ignorant? Do I sound ignorant?
Yeah, you do.
No. Let's go back to those who feel that Shakur Stevenson shouldn't be recognized and identified and celebrate and embrace being Puerto Rican because he never knew his daddy, because he never experienced the culture at home. So why do you embrace yourself being African American? Because you don't know your daddy. Your daddy ain't African. You ain't nothing. You don't know the language. Huh?
What they got to do with?
So who are you?
What they got to do with?
What are you? See, this is what I see. And this is how I'm going to identify. And this is my belief. Everybody's entitled to believe what they want to believe. I'm going to say it again. I'm only speaking the language of this society for y'all to understand me. But in all actuality, ain't no such thing as black and ain't no such thing as white.
I agree.
White is if you describe yourself as white, it's because you don't know who you are. The same thing with black. If you call yourself a black man, it's because you don't know what to identify with. So you say you're black as a crayon. You're a crayon. Because ain't nowhere in this world is called black or white. So what are you?
It's a corporate construct.
Because you're getting mad that other people could actually say what they are, who they are, because they could go back to an origin and it lets them know, or they identify with a culture or a nationality. Tell me.
I just want to stop it real quick. That lets me know about the people who came here during the conquistadors' time. This is pretty much what they're pretty much bringing out, the mixture, and they're trying to. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go.
See, look, ladies and gentlemen, see what Americans have to do. I gotta say this to a lot of Americans. Americans out here, you have to leave this country and travel the world. Because you will come to find out when you travel the world, you go to different parts of the world, they don't speak with crayon language. They don't speak like black, white, red, green, and yellow. They know. A lot of issues outside of this country, it's been religious issues, religious war, just like I said earlier, Yugoslavian with the Bosnian, Croatian, stuff like that, Muslim, Christians. You know what I'm saying? Had nothing to do with color. You think Ukraine and Russia has to do with you? Some people in America be like, yo, that's white problems. You think Russia see Ukraine as whites and Ukraine sees Russians as white? No.
But that's not true all the way though.
See, I'm gonna tell you the truth right here, and a lot of you gonna get your feelings hurt, but this is the truth. If you still calling yourself white or black, you still in the hamster wheel.
The Watusis were
you still in the hamster wheel. You're a robot. You're a robot because ain't no such thing as white and black. Ain't no such thing. But I'm going to speak the language so y'all can understand me. In reality, there's no such thing as black and white, my brothers. And the more that you refer yourself as white or black, you telling me you don't know who you are, you haven't done education about yourself. That's the truth. See, calling yourself... Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me right quick. Listen. This is going to hurt your feelings. It's going to hurt your feelings. But it is what it is. The truth sometimes hurts. Calling yourself black is the equivalent of Malcolm putting the X behind his name. Calling yourself black is the equivalent of Malcolm putting the X in the end of his name. And if everybody knows why did Malcolm X put that X behind Malcolm, now you understand what I'm saying. Because there's no such thing as black. And there's no such thing as white. So when somebody says...
Can I say something, sis?
Yeah.
Okay. When Malcolm put the X behind his name, it's because Malcolm X said he was in search of himself. But what was El Malik Shabazz's real name? What was his last name? Anybody knew his last name? His last name was Little. Malcolm Little. So when he was in search of himself, is because, watch this, he left home and now he was began to follow a religion, which was the Nation of Islam, and he transferred his name to El Malik Shabazz in search of an identity. But his real identity was of his father, who got killed on the train tracks by the Ku Klux Klan. And all he had to do was trace that backwards, and he would have figured out who he was. But I'm going to let him finish cooking.
He's Puerto Rican. And you're like, yo, but my man, you black. He's telling you he's within his culture, his people, his tribe, if you want to call it tribe. It's just like in Africa, everybody black, but they identify with different tribes. That's what it is. It's just tribe. But they know their tribe. Back before people mentioned each other's black, they was calling Negroes. So what happened? Who was the first person to identify themselves as black? And then it created this new name, this new phenomenon of people identifying with black, because before it was Negro. There's Afro-Latino, but when did Afro-Latino came about? Afro-Latino came about in the 70s, in the 80s, because people was wearing Afro. Same thing, Afro-American. If you know the origin of how blacks used to identify themselves, or African-American, Negroes, whatever y'all want to say, it changed. It changed from Negroes, color, black, African American. There are certain black people that don't want to identify themselves as African American as well.
Let's see if we get into that.
There's certain Latinos, even the chick that I'm talking about, Jocelyn Hernandez, in that interview with the Breakfast Club, said that she's not Afro-Latina. So for those who don't understand, for those certain black folks that like to chastise and like to discredit or like to create some type of uncomfortable conversation or situation, when you want to micromanage and you want to control how a Latino, a particular Latino that could be Puerto Rican, or Dominican, and Cuban, wants to identify it and wants to say, when you ask him what is he, and he says Cuban, but he comes from has the skin complexion like me, and you tell him, no, you're black. Latinos ain't dumb, okay? Latinos just know who they identify themselves with. They could tell you they could tell you I'm Dominican. They could tell you they're Mexican. They could tell you they're Ecuadorian. They could tell you, even in South America, they could tell you I'm Brazilian. They could tell you I'm from Paraguay. They could tell you all this stuff. But you're telling me you're black. What is black and what is white? What is black and what is white? Is white what? Irish? If you Irish, then say you Irish. You think white was white? Italian to you? He's Italian. What was white to you? Croatian? He's Croatian. And that's the issue. So again, before I open up the panels, I'm gonna send the link. Whoever want to chop it up, because I'm not saying this is my perspective. This is my perspective. Why the hell does anyone have a problem with Shakur Stevenson identifying of what his mother and his father is? Jesse Jackson came up with the African American. Exactly. I know when I know around the time it came out, and that's what I'm saying. That if you know the history, especially in this country, because this country is the one that started this little coloring book and stuff like that. And we know the background. We know why certain things were the way it was, and why there's certain terminologies out there, right? Hey, let me tell you like this. There was some black folks that were slave owners too. So even when we talk about slavery, what are we talking about? The majority of the slave owners were white. But go check the history as well. Hey, go to the African American Museum as well in Washington, D.C. There was black slave owners as well. There's certain history that people just don't want to talk about because it defeats the purpose. If you understand what I'm talking about. It defeats the purpose. There was white slaves in America as well. Go deeper into the history. As a matter of fact, if you know the history and history, and I don't want to turn this to a history class, but there's an African American museum out here in Rockland County, and they have information of Italians, the slaves when they came into the north.
You can stop in there.
Was believed.
Yeah, I wanted you to hear that because I wanted you to hear how they are trying to teach you your history. But do you you know what I'm saying? Are you able to teach your history? Are you able to defend your history? We heard the video, the first video with the guy when they were trying to say he was from African descent, right? Because he was a so-called black person. And he's like, no, I'm American. But you could tell he hadn't done a genealogy. Because had he done genealogy and real research, he would have been able to school them and inform them. It was a lot of stuff that he said just now. Just with the fact of why do he know your history like that? Some stuff I do agree with. Like there's no such thing as black and white. I do agree with that, right? So some stuff I do agree with, right? But it's still the fact that, but even him, right? So even with them, if you was to get on the panel, you might look at him and say, okay, you're Dominican, or you come from Venezuela or whatever country you come from. But are you really from that country? Because now look at the history of that country. How do you know that you're not Spaniard? How do you know that you really from that country? Because they're gonna claim the countries that they colonized, the country that they took. And see, it's different with so-called blacks and people from other countries. Like so-called blacks, they understand, they may not understand exactly what country they come from, but they call themselves black, or they understand that they are a set apart people, a nation of people, right? Whereas other people, they may hide behind nationalities. They may say, "Oh, I'm Egyptian," but they're not really Egyptian. But they're gonna say that, like Fat Joe, right? You can say, "Oh, well, he's mixed because he's from Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico people are mixed." How do you know he's mixed? Like they're gonna take the history of the people. With that being said, the reason why I basically want to show these videos tonight, basically to show you, in my opinion, I feel like the biggest attack Because again, remember the lumberjack match. All the different nations are surrounding you. Jeremiah 12 and 7 through 9, right? The speckled bird. They all want to devour you. And I think the biggest attack is you not knowing your history. And like I said, if you don't know who the creator is, Isaiah 1 and 3, you don't know who God is, you definitely not gonna know who you are. Like if you can't defend your history, how can you be over resources? You don't know what landmass you belong to. And when talking to them, when you're letting them dictate you and take you away from this landmass, as long as they're taking you away from the landmass, they're saying you don't have no ownership here. It's free game for everybody.
That's right.
With that being said, Yako, thank you. Thank you, Sister Joanne. Thank y'all for listening, whoever was listening. Yeah, thank y'all. And again, are you being reformed? Will you be improved by this? Because I mean, it's happening. It's happening real bad now. Like they putting their foot on the gas because they see like, and you can see it around. Like they're trying so hard to break you. You dispersed amongst the heathen, so you can't really gather up. You can't really have private talks. They make sure they stay on you, so that everything you do, they do it too. Then all of a sudden, you're not so special no more, right?
That's right.
And just to close it, Jeremiah 29 and 7. Well, no, Jeremiah 29:13. And ye shall seek me and find me when you shall search for me with all your heart. I think that's where it starts. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord. Read the Bible. Find out real history. Find out who you are. Do your genealogy. But it first starts with learning who the creator is. Do you know who your God is?
All praises. You put part two together. You hear me, sis? Put part two together. You did wonderful. You did real good. I'm impressed. I am impressed. Put part two together. You got anything? You got anything to say, sis?
Just yeah, you did an awesome job breaking down everything, and with the videos it really give you something to think about, and how we have to take back what's ours and stop laying down everything for others to take and being complacent with it. So great job, sis.
Yeah, great job, great job, great job. Great job. I mean, all praises. Get part two together now. Put part two together. And the videos, those who paid attention, they was on point, because you got to think about it. These people are telling you what you are. But when it comes to us, how many of us can tell, let people know who we are? That goes back to the research. That goes back to, knowing the history of yourself. some of the clips was funny though. Some of the clips was funny. Seriously, some of the clips was real funny. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. That's how now we see how these people really be talking, and how they be really, getting down when it comes to us as a people. That's this you did a very good job. You got the last word, sis.
Who me?
Yeah, you got the last words. Get part two together now.
All right. Don't forget, y'all, that if you're in sin, then your prayer is an abomination, and only turning back to the Creator and praying to Him can help this, because this is affliction. Um, I'll just say this, Isaiah 30:18. And therefore will the Lord wait, that He may be gracious unto you, and therefore will He be exalted, that He may have mercy upon you. For the Lord is a God of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for Him. The Lord is waiting for you so He can be good to you. It's not what the church teach about, Him coming back, or we don't know. He's waiting for you to turn back.
Yeah, brother Chavez say, all praise, sister, real, in depth and informative. So
Thank you.
yeah, all praise. You did good. I mean, really, you did wonderful. You did wonderful. I mean, the videos, I'm gonna go back and I got to look at some of these videos. I apologize to everybody for this thing acting up. As soon as we was getting ready to come on, the camera and all stuff want to start acting up. So I tried to flip it on to the other computer, but the other computer, it came on, but it started acting up as far as like sharing the videos. So I had to go back to the other one. So I got some work to do to be able to get this thing back functioning like it's supposed to. So forgive me on the beginning part for being late and for, not seeing my ugly face. So I know everybody
Thank you.
wants to see my ugly face, huh? Go ahead. What'd you say?
I said, nah, just thank y'all for letting me come up.
Oh, you gotta thank us, girl. You gonna be coming up plenty more times. That's what I'm telling you. Get part two together. Get part two together. You did good. I mean, honestly, you really did good. So forgive me for being late. Charge it to the computer, not to me, because it wasn't me. I promise you that it wasn't me. But we thank the creator for this sister really actually putting down this information. And those, like I say, those who is going to be coming to the Passover, the hard count stop Sunday. So if I don't get the hard count like we supposed to, I will not book any place for Passover. I need to get the hard count, because other than that, ended up with two people that actually had answered the thing. So make sure anybody who didn't answer, you answer before Sunday. All right. Because this is the hard count. This is how we got to go out now to be able to get a venue, to be able to fit, for the people that's going to be there. But if we're not going to get the people, ain't no need for me to go and spend the money for the venue. See how that works? So everybody, make sure you be in accord along with everything else. Also, those who we have rehearsal Sunday for the song. Rehearsal Sunday for the song. All right. Anything else? Okay. May the Creator continue to be bless you, and may your Shabbat continue to be peaceful, restful, and relaxful. We're looking for part two from this sister. I'm telling y'all, she got a lot of information. This was very informative tonight. My eyes was open to the Latinos, of how they really act, and our people, we can't really defend ourselves. This is what we got to break from out of. We can't keep with that narrative going to Africa, coming from Africa, blah, 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 blah. We have to let people know that we're indigenous. And the only way you can tell people that we are indigenous, you have to do the research, Deuteronomy 32:7. All right. So may your Shabbat continue to be peaceful, restful, and relaxful. And remember, press that like button. The sister did very good tonight. Make sure you do not leave without pressing that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the page. Be looking for the sister to come back on. She's going to be coming back on pretty soon. I promise y'all that. Next week, we're going to have Sister Yakana come up, and she's going to do her thing. Just give me a break. I really had a break tonight, and she's going to be doing her thing next week. And I'm looking for another brother to come up after Sister Yakana to do their thing. Can't let the sisters outdo y'all, brothers. So, Brother Trey, if you listening, get something together, brother. All right. I'm trying to go on a fishing expedition. Hey, this is the Braxtons. Shalom, shalom, shalom. And on Wednesdays, we be in Clubhouse. Look for the logo. Look for the logo. All right. All right, family. Peace.
Fancy me, thought I had my degree in life and how love ought to be right. I had a one-step plan to prove it. I got in my pocket for fools, falling in love. Now that you show me one thing, I was so fine, yeah, from emotion, oh no, and I was so hard, but told me who was anyone who claimed that I didn't control whatever moved in my soul. You touch the light just because it fell for me. Why should I feel uptight?